the Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri has arrived at the airport in Beirut. This is the first time he has been in the country since he resigned in a speech given in Saudi Arabia on November the 4th. He will reportedly make his way to the presidential palace to deliver his official resignation as Prime Minister to the Lebanese president. RT's Maria Fanoshina has details on the story for us.
This is a long-awaited return. Lebanon's Prime Minister Saad Hariri has returned to Beirut after he spent more than 2 weeks outside the country. And I have to say that these were really hard and turbulent 20 days for Lebanon. It started as a normal official visit to Saudi Arabia, but already next day, Mr. Hariri unexpectedly announced about his resignation in a televised address while speaking from the Saudi Arabian capital. He then explained that the major reason behind this decision is the influence and the attempts by military and political forces backed by Iran to meddle into the politics here in Lebanon and throughout the region. Mr. Hariri also mentioned that he fears for his life and worries about his family's safety. It immediately sparked speculation that Mr. Hariri was held in Saudi Arabia against his will and that he was forced to resign. That was the opinion shared by many politicians, I have to say, including here in Lebanon, including the country's president. He did not accept this so-called remote resignation. Mr. Hariri, in several days, left Saudi Arabia, going to France. France's President Emmanuel Macron reiterated many times that he considers Mr. Hariri Prime Minister of Lebanon, and this is exactly the status he's accepting and inviting Mr. Hariri to France in. After France, Mr. Hariri went to Cairo. There were some stops in between, and now he's back to Lebanon. He is expecting to take part in the Independence Day celebrations that are going to take place here in Beirut. But of course, everybody's waiting for explanations over his resignation, and he has promised that he will give more details and he will clarify everything while he is back home. So let's wait and see how it will be progressing.
Meanwhile, the Lebanese army says it is prepared to counter any possible act of Israeli aggression. That is according to an official statement by the army's chief. It comes as Arab nations led by Saudi Arabia move to crack down on Lebanon's Hezbollah militia. RT's Isa Ali picks up the story for us.
This announcement by Joseph Aoun, he's the head of the Lebanese military, telling the army to be in full readiness along the border with Israel, and saying that Israel daily commits violations of Lebanon's sovereignty, and so the country must be ready to face any aggression from their southern neighbor. And of course, it all comes in the background of these increasing tensions in the region. We've seen the head of the Israeli Defense Force, the Chief of Staff, Gal Eisenkot, saying very openly, actually, that he's ready to have complete cooperation with Saudi Arabia and to share intelligence with them on what they both see as their common foe, Iran, and by extension, Iran's allies in the region, groups like Hezbollah. Of course, we've seen all of this coming in the wake of the Arab League meeting over the weekend, convened by Saudi Arabia to condemn Iran and, of course, again, their allies like Hezbollah, like the Houthis and other groups which are fighting and resisting against Saudi Arabia in Yemen as well. So all of that coming together in that sense. That meeting didn't go exactly to plan. There were several Arab countries which didn't vote for Saudi's motion. The whole country quite tense, actually. That's the atmosphere here as they all wait to see what will happen, not just in the domestic politics of Lebanon, but also regionally.